3 more sunscreen products have been removed from shelves weeks after testing by consumer group Choice raised doubts over their SPF levels. It brings the total number of products now recalled by multiple brands to 6. For more, Choice CEO Ashley de Silva is with us and he's coming live from Sydney. Good morning to you. So yet more brands taken off shelves. Could there be even more to come?
Look, I think there is an open question around whether there could be more to come. I think the fact that there has been 5 brands pull 6 products in just under a week is a signal that there is something that's not working around the way that we're regulating and testing sunscreens. When Ultraviolet pulled their product Lean Screen last week, they acknowledged that that product used a base formula that could be present in others, and I think that's what's driving the actions of these other brands this week. But as I say, there is a question as to whether there could be more products using that same formula or have other issues that are still for sale.
Ashley, why did we not know this beforehand? Because the brands we're looking at are really popular brands. They achieve a lot of sales. How did we not know this before now?
Yeah, I think that's a really good question, and I think the brands themselves are asking the TGA for a bit more advice now. They feel like they've followed the protocols that are required to sell sunscreen in Australia, but the additional tests that Choice did released in June raised the question when we saw 16 of the 20 products we tested not meet their SPF claims. Now, the TGA did say at the time that they would do an investigation, and that's continuing, but I think the urgency around wanting to hear what the scope of that investigation is, what can be done in the meantime, is raising questions from consumers and now even brands who are looking for more advice.
Can we talk about the testing process? Because when these initial results came out, not all of the brands accepted them. Some got more testing done only to have our worst fears confirmed that in fact it was accurate. How are you guys ensuring that these results are accurate?
So look, one of the challenges with testing is that it does require testing on humans, and that there can be variability, and Choice acknowledges that, as does the TGA, and so do the brands. I think though there is more than just the test that goes into the guidance that could be given to brands around how they make sure their claims are accurate. So the ABC, in fact, has done some good reporting around the labs that get used, what's the quality of those labs, how often should brands retest, and what is considered enough to be confident in the results. So we certainly did all of our testing in an accredited lab that specialises in sunscreen tests. You're right to say that not all of the brands agreed with those results. Ultraviolet, who scored a 4, and then a 5 in a second test, being the most kind of vocal in their opposition to those findings, only to then undertake their own and conclude that the results were too patchy for them to continue feeling confident in the sale of that product. Finally,
Ashley, before I let you go, what's your advice to our viewers watching this morning? They're going to the shop, they want to buy sunscreen they can trust. I notice a lot of the brands and the specific products been taken off shelves have added benefits like anti-aging or moisturising benefits. Should you just be going for a basic SPF? Is that the most effective?
Look, the main thing is that sunscreen's part of a bigger sun protection regime, of course, so don't forget about things like staying in the shade, wearing longer sleeve clothing, wearing hats. But when it comes to sunscreen, the TGA's advice for consumers is to remember that an SPF of 30 or more is still highly effective, and Choice has been saying that since we released our tests. I do know though that consumers have got questions around, well, it's saying that it's 50, does that mean it's at least 30? And to your point, are there certain sunscreens we should be avoiding altogether? And I think that that's part of what the public and the community is waiting to hear back from the TGA on, to give them that ultimate confidence. But I'd say in the meantime, don't disregard your sunscreen and keep up with all of those other ways of being sun smart.